Jim, when you see Northwestern beat Michigan State, when you see Rutgers with what they're doing, beating Illinois, what do you make of the Big Ten already?
Hell of a league. I think we all felt that going in. I mean, listen, Northwestern's a really good team. Taylor Battle's brother plays for Northwestern, so we know them very well. Rutgers is a top 25 team. Illinois is a top 10 team. Michigan State, Michigan. I mean, it's night in and night out. It's matchups and who plays well that night. And that's really what it comes down to. And nothing surprises me, not one bit. Not one bit. I thought Northwestern really came out as the aggressor and set the tone for that basketball game. And I thought the Rutgers-Illinois game was a war. A war is really and it's what I expect here Wednesday night.
Jim, does that help you, like seeing Northwestern beat Michigan State? I know you speak repeatedly, your players have confidence that they can do that, but does it help your players when they see a Northwestern beat a Michigan State?
I don't think so. No, I think our guys, we think we can beat anybody. We also know that we can be beaten by anybody. So no, not at all. I don't think that affects us one way or another. I don't think anything that Northwestern does or doesn't do or anybody else really has anything to do with us. It's all about us focusing on us, and whoever plays well that night's going to win the game.
Justin Morgenstein will come to you next, and then John Sauber, the Center Daily Times.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for doing this today.
Hey, Justin.
I just wanted to know, how do you go about prepping, specifically, I guess, for Illinois, for a team that has, such an elite tandem of a big man and a guard? How do you really go about that?
Pretty similar to the answers to Corey's question is everybody in this league has great players, great coaches. The names change, that's all, right? Michigan has great players, and now we got to go focus on Illinois. They have some great players. So it's really, that's why you got to just focus on yourself and really focus on getting better, and then just trying to game plan properly for each team, whether it's ball screen coverages, post defense coverages, different tweaks to what we do offensively or defensively. But pretty much you got to stay true to who you are and what you do. And I think that goes for everybody in this league. I mean, no matter who you play in this league, there are great players, not just one. There's usually two or three on each team. So you just really got to move on to the next game. And we've put our focus over the last couple of days on Illinois. And how do you deal with the sumo? How do you deal with Kofi? Everybody on the team, Williams having a hell of a year. Like, they're a really, really good team. And if you think you're just going to be able to take one guy away and win a game against teams as good as our league, then I think we're making a mistake.
Next, we'll go to John Sauber, and then Peter Terpstra, you're on deck.
Jim, how do you prepare for someone like Coburn, though, when you really don't have anyone that can match up his size in practice? He's almost 300 pounds. He's 7 feet tall, and he kind of has skill and touch around the rim.
Yeah, well, if I told you that, then that would get out, right? That would be part of our game plan. Hey, he's really unique. As I've been watching the film over the past couple of days, I'm a little bit older than the rest of my staff here, but Shaq came to mind. And I'm not talking about the NBA Shaq. I watched Shaq a lot in when he was in college, and he reminds you that. I mean, he's such a physical presence. He's improved dramatically from last year. He's so explosive off the floor to finish to the rim. His hands have gotten better. And what people don't realize too, it's just the amount of space he takes up, both offensively and defensively, distorts the game a little bit. So, we have a couple of things we're planning to try to get him off balance, per se, try to get him up and down the court, and attacking him as well. So it's a challenge. And that's why one of the reasons why they are one of the best teams in the country is when you have him and Io and the rest of those guys on the court together. They're a really, really good team, and they play really, really hard, and they're tough. So it's not just him, but we've got a couple of things we've been working on.
We'll come next to Peter Terpstra, then back to Justin Morgenstein, and then Corey Geiger, you'll be the third question.
Hey, Coach. I'm just curious logistically, what is Christmas Eve, Christmas going to look like for you guys? And is there anything you guys learned from, Thanksgiving with all the pandemic restrictions that you might be able to use when trying to enjoy the next round of holidays?
Yeah. I know you're not going to believe it, and it's sad, but My Christmas and Christmas Eve is going to be dictated on what happens on the 23rd. But no, I understand what you're saying. We're still following all the protocols very tightly. We play on the 23rd. We're getting tested on the 24th. And then we're back practicing again, tested on the 26th. So, we've really educated our guys, and our guys have been educated themselves and done a fantastic job and following the protocols and following all the safety. Obviously, if there's in that day, if family members are around or they can see their family, everybody's just going to do it in a very smart, educated way, because everybody's put so much time in and they understand what the risks are of getting COVID. And, we did a great job during Thanksgiving as well. And we're going to continue to do a great job. These guys have been really focused on it.
Justin, we'll come to you for your next question. And then Corey, you're on deck.
Jim, in terms of Isaiah's scoring, he's really kind of been able to do it on all three levels this year, kind of not what he did for a lot of last year. Was that something he worked on over the summer, or was that more of a developmental thing?
Well, it's both. It's a developmental thing that he worked on over the summer and the off season. He's really improved his game as a lot of our guys have. And, with Isaiah, giving him the freedom to make decisions, the freedom to shoot open threes when he's open, but he also knows who he is for us and what he can do for us in regards to being able to break down defenses. And, with him, and it's stuff that he always talks about and I've talked about too, it's just the consistency, as he keeps moving up in this role. If we can just keep him playing at a consistently high level, then we got a chance to be pretty good.
Corey Geiger, we're back to you. And then John Sauber, you're on deck.
One thing real quick, you said you would try to schedule a game during this time. Did that happen and it not come through? And then secondly, we'll talk to John here in a few minutes. What is John like being your big man? He's got to go up against these great big men in this league. There's pressure on him, but what is that like for him?
Well, I'll answer the first part of the question first. We tried extremely hard. What made it difficult too was finals week. Okay, that made it really difficult because we're not playing during finals week, obviously letting the guys focus. So I had worked and we had gotten two teams that were really pretty much committed to playing. We were going to have a game on Saturday, this past Saturday. And then I got the call at around 11, I might have been 11:15 at night from the coach that was all set. They said in the end, the administration just didn't want them to stay in hotels the night before. And, the way we have our testing protocols, you have to test the day before and the day of. So in the last minute, it kind of fell apart. The administration, everybody was set. We had the arena set. We were all set. And then literally the last hour, it fell through. So it was disappointing. And it just shows it's just really hard. Just really, really hard to, with everybody's different rules and protocols and open dates. So we were disappointed, but, we moved on and we actually scrimmaged ourselves a lot on Saturday. In regards to John, he's, you never want to say you have a favorite as a son or a daughter, right? Or as a guy that's been coaching for so long. But, John is one of my favorite players in my whole career in coaching. I know he hates when I said it. He's Superman. He really is. When you talk about, one of the most consistent human beings in the world that shows up every single day, one of the nicest people in the world, one of the most competitive people in the world, smartest. The guy's in the Spiel School business. He's, talk about a rock star, man. I want to be John for a day. But he takes on whatever's thrown at him. And he's been doing it for a while. Like he said, he had to bang heads with Big Mike for 3 years. So I think that's prepared him a lot. But he's been doing it. Even his freshman year, John didn't play at all until later in the year in that stretch run when Mike got hurt. And then, we were starting him in our NIT championship run. I think in the NIT championship game, he had like 10 offensive rebounds in the first half or 10 rebounds in the first half. John is a warrior. John is he's the ultimate competitor. He's the ultimate teammate. He's the ultimate person. I love John. I wish John would marry one of my daughters. I really do. But he takes on every challenge. He's really smart. He studies film. He listens. he'll come to us with ideas and adjustments, and we just feed off it. And the fact that he's such a competitor. Here's something that we could talk all day about him. Watch when John's out of the game. You watch when John Harrar is out of the game, and then you tell me how special a person that is. So I could go on forever about him, and he deserves every accolade he gets, and he's really improved, and he's been a huge part of the winning that has gone on here in Penn State over the last 3 or 4 years.
I don't even know how we can follow up after that, but John Sauber, let's see what you can bring to this next question.
Yeah, so I'm going to shift gears to Abdu here real quick. What do you think he can provide as you head into the Big Ten season? We saw him a little bit more against Michigan, going up against someone like Hunter Dickinson. As you face guys like Coburn, Trace Jackson Davis, Luka Garza, how much can he bring to the table, and how do you sort of envision his role growing?
Yeah, he's going to really be a good player. Rim protection, rebounding. He can finish around the basket. His is just getting experience, and I really, that's on me and our staff. But it's like normally we'd have had a bunch of other games prior, and maybe not. Like you say, look at our schedule, right? VCU, Seton Hall, Virginia Tech, Michigan. They're all big time games. We never really had the opportunity to play some other games like a VMI. It was really challenged us. We needed some of those games to really throw Abdu into the fire. So he's going to get thrown into the fire in big time basketball right now. But his ability, his athleticism, his length, like I said, the ability to be a rim protector, which is what we need, and somebody to throw the ball to. So I think we're going to just keep seeing him get better and better as we move forward here.
Lindsay Wilhoit, I see that you're on here. Do you have any questions for Coach Ferry? Because we know you are definitely writing a preview.
I do, actually. Way back near the top, you mentioned focusing on yourself is important. I was curious what you did during this last week. And also, Illinois has played a wide variety of teams. Which one of those opponents, as you inhaled some film, reminds you most of yourselves?
Well, first part of the question, we're coming out of finals week. So a little bit difficult. It's not a normal week of practice per se, allowing these guys to really focus on their exams. But we were able to get the guys together. We gave them Monday and Tuesday off, went a little bit individuals one day, did some teamwork. We scrimmaged on Saturday. But now, gave them off Sunday. We're back onto a normal 2-day out prep routine. So, I think we got a lot out of the guys, or as much as we could get out of them during finals week, to be fair, because again, it's about making sure these guys are prepared for their exams and stuff. I've basically watched every one of their games, and they're really good. So who would you say we compared to? I think maybe Missouri a little bit, with the quickness that we have the ability to play with. But they're good, man. They're and they don't change who they are. They're coming at you of here we are. This is what we do. This is how we play. And they should. Brad's done a great job over there. Got some really good players. When you have a star guard and a star big man, that's usually a pretty good formula for a team to be, in the top 10 or wherever they're ranked right now. So, but when we go through film and stuff like that, it's we look at it to see what their strengths are, see what their weaknesses are, and then try to match them up to what we do.
Justin Morgenstein will go with you for the final question.
So Jim, with pretty much campus being completely empty and obviously this whole break happening between games, how have you kind of kept their spirits up, and what have they done to, keep their edge and, just keep their spirit up?
Well, for these guys, their spirit has been kept up by being in the gym. Even on the days we didn't practice or the days we went really short, they're just in here all the time. These guys love basketball, and it's a big part of who they are since they've been little kids. So I think they really find their comfort in that. They were able to spend some time together. We usually have a big Christmas party with all the families and everybody, of our staff and the players. And obviously we weren't allowed to do that this year, but I know the guys did get together themselves and do a little thing within the protocols and social distancing and 3 to table and stuff like that. So it's a really good group. These guys really love each other. It's a real tight knit group. So I think they've really done a fantastic job throughout this pandemic and all the rules and students leaving and whatnot. And I think that's, their comfort zone is the BJC, You know, they come in here and they work out, get shots up or extra time in the weight room. I think it's really feel comfortable.